Do we
All the
want
big
to
updates.
take a look at the
Yeah.
video?
Yep.
Let me
Take it
get this.
away.
Now watch it. Oh,
Product not yet rated.
Yep, there you go. There it is. Is there sound on there?
There's sound on the stream, but it's not coming over Discord.
Gotcha.
That's pretty much it. There's not really anything else here.
yeah.
But like, what I want to pause on is this screen right here. So everything that it shows leading up to that are like the evolution of war airplanes, essentially, you know, like throughout history, coming up to the more modern ones, and then it stops on this image. And to me, I think that this is a new vehicle that they're putting in the game. That's my guess. That's my leaning right now. I also think that because the trailer is Ace is what you call a great pilot, right? That's someone who's shot down a lot of people. I think the first update is all going to be reworks around how we fight in space, about the ship-to-ship combat, about escape pods. The developers have blatantly said that they're not happy with how much people just escape pod out. They want to make being an escape pod riskier, harder, not as rewarding. They want to give you incentives to go back to your vehicle instead of trying to escape pod out. They want that to be a last resort. So I think this update is 100% going to be focused on, let's get them in ships, let's encourage them to build better ships and use the better ships, and then let's really play up that aspect of the game, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
I hope they don't do those kind of ship styles.
What the
You
one?
know what I mean?
This one.
The ones on the video, like they keep it more spacey.
Oh, I think I think
This one's
what
spacey.
I think what Patrick is saying is right. I think it's just showing the evolution.
Yes.
I wonder if they're gonna enter a game mode with like dogfighting,
I
or
want for bigger rooms.
yeah, or like this is a fight. This is a fighter, and so you can go into a map as a fighter, not as one of the bigger ships, and you can shoot down other ones. So you can go in just to attack people instead of
Like, you can't dock with it? Is that what you're saying? Like, there's
Something
no
like
ability
that.
to dock, but it's...
maybe. I
So
don't
kind of
know.
like a cross between, like, an
I hadn't
escape
thought about
pod
that.
and...
Yeah,
But
I
with
don't know.
guns.
This is way smaller.
Just
I'm
a
not
fight,
sure.
just a fighting escape pod.
Or you could escape pod out and get into somebody else's ship or something. I don't know. I
Like-
think the ace is pretty important
Yeah.
part of that.
The way that they have the map, the zone set up right now, once you populate into the map and you've got to navigate through everything, if they want us to engage more, they need to think maybe make that smaller and add more, like, hey, you have to engage scenarios.
Well,
But it kind of is when you're flying to the center.
yeah. Well, but they could also
I
add
feel
more
like it'd be
mechanics, though, right? That would make it, make fighting a little bit more viable. So, like, off the top of my head, I think of two mechanics that they could use. One, they could just add blast doors to the center POI and to the exit, so that for the first 2 minutes of the game, you can't dock. Like, that would be a mechanic they could add. A different mechanic that they could add, and this one I think is a better mechanic, is, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I did some tinkering around, and you will not get shot at by the auto turrets if you're in an escape pod. They only shoot the full-sized vehicles. So, you know, on Prison, how you kind of have to come in low if you don't blow up the turrets, because
Yeah.
and you can kind of sneak in. What if they added more turret point defenses around the POIs themselves, so that you have to blow those up and it blow up a significant number before you can get in? Well, you can't just drive straight in, so if other people want to fight you, that gives them the opportunity to fly around and get to you, especially if this is more of a fighter style one. So you can't just instantly run straight in. That's one way that they could do it. They could also put more point defense around the exits, so that you can't just instantly go right there. You're gonna get the crap blown out of you if you just try to run straight to the exit. They have a bunch of point defenses there that you have to blow out before you can exit. Again, kind of trapping you in some ways more in the middle, or giving you incentives to bring in a heavier ship that you've equipped armor, because you guys notice there is an armor slot that we can't currently use but is there on the ships. Like, what if you put, come in on a capital ship and you've upgraded the armor, now you can plow through those point defense weapons and get into the POI quickly if you want to. Like, I feel like it would add a really cool mechanic if they just added more point defense to kind of force you into the donut area, not in the escape, not to escape, not to board the POI, but to have to either fight it out or destroy the point defenses to get in, and other people could fight you in that time.
Extra scenarios that require some of the features that we see in some of the different craftable ships.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, I'm down with that. Everything you described, it sounds really cool, and even Don agrees.
Yeah. They could even add a mechanic like right now. Who uses the torpedoes, right? Or some like the heavy cannon, yes, but like the triple cannon, no. What if they put in point defenses that you can't destroy unless you have like certain things, unless you have a heavier level of ammunition, like, they protect certain, entrances that are closer to the good loot, but you can only destroy those point defenses and actually get in if you have a heavier weapon to hit it with. Like, there's a lot of ways that they could do this that would make it really interesting and make other mechanics more viable than right now where you just boot scoot in. Yeah,
like with the current, like say the current system that they have with the turrets, like it takes you 5-10 minutes to get in because it's the weakest one. So you have to upgrade to the turrets, or you have to upgrade your turrets to other shit. So now you can get past that shit in like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Or, you have the armor, because you have a heavy frigate plus heavy armor. Now you can just barrel through because those weapons can't, because now the POI's point defenses aren't strong enough to be able to easily penetrate your armor. The flip option, like, and you could play to different people's play styles and what they'd want to do. But then, if you have a heavy frigate that's designed to barrel in so that you can get in fairly quickly to a POI, now you want to take that back out because that shit's expensive. So you have an incentive not to escape pod out. Now you want to go back to your heavy frigate, Like, I don't know. Yeah. I feel like adding those kind of mechanics, yes, it would make it more complicated for your first time starter offers, but at the same time, it would actually give a reason for it. That's the stuff I'm hoping for from this update anyways.
For the defense, I'm thinking do something about breachers. Like, make the breaching process maybe actually complicated for when you have higher and higher defense.
Like, it's not as quick and easy to be able to get into the capital ship as it is to get into somebody's rust bucket.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting. Or even if there was just like you have to try to penetrate twice versus once, like the first time you'll bounce off the hull,
or you take a certain amount of damage depending on how much armor a ship has.
That would be like, if someone has a fully armored ship and they're in a capital ship, you come in and you have like 20% health left versus having 90. That would be cool.
Robert's falling asleep.
So I was thinking how I kind of thought about, the escape pods being like little fighter planes too.
Yeah.
That if the station itself could send out a few of those around.
And like board you.
Oh. Or just to shoot.
Oh, so send out bots to come get you.
That would be cool.
Just because you could use your guns more.
Or what if even like they also did that, like deployed a couple fighters for like if you escape out of an escape pod instead of taking your thing out, they'll actually send people to try to shoot you down. Like, gosh. That would make it a lot less of like if you have to get out, you have to get out, but that gives you a lot less incentive.
So it's a real risk to use your pod. You're like, shit,
because you have
I need to leave, but I know I leave, I'm gonna get fucking gunned down.
Yeah, I might not make it because right now, I mean, realistically, in what I've done 300 raids, 400 raids. I think I've been shot down once in an escape pod.
Me too.
and never escape. But that was after I got shot down. Like after my my rust bucket got shot heavily.
I might have been.
Like,
I might have been shot at before.
but like have
took
you
me a
guys
little
ever
bit.
been shot at in an escape pod when leaving a POI? When you use the escape pod in the POI, have you once been shot at?
I have been shot at it, but I don't think I got.
Yeah, I've been shot at, but I've never been hit. I saw like the
Yeah.
fire going past me. I'm like, oh shit!
When
timing
leaving a
has-
POI through the
Yeah.
escape pod, or leaving the rust bucket?
No, from a
Leaving
POI,
the
I've
rust
never been
bucket.
shot at. But it's like the timing has to be crazy. Somebody has to be either waiting outside, or they would have to have just gotten out also.
Which is why I'm saying, like,
But-
if they made
yeah.
it where there was, a couple AI ships that got deployed to attack you when you escape pod out of the actual POI, that way people don't have to wait around, but it's a mechanic. Imagine if you're a squad of 4 and they're deploying 2 AIs for every person who escape pods out. Suddenly there's 8 of them swarming around. There's a huge incentive not to escape pod out.
Or be the first person in the map to escape pod out. So there's not 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get out, there's a bunch of. Man, that's interesting. That is going to be so frustrating if you get out to the escape pod. Because now you get out to the escape pod and you're like, okay, cool, I'm good.
But like,
It's like be first, be
but
first
it
in
makes
whatever
it more
you do.
interesting, right? Because like,
It
like,
does.
but like you just said, Oliver. Imagine if you if you escape, if you go to an escape pod and you're like, what if, even if you're the only person in your group and you're playing solo and you're like, but wait, what if somebody else went out there and already escape podded out? What if a team already escape podded out? There could already be 4, 6, 8 of them out there flying around. I don't know how safe it is to go out now. That makes
Yeah.
it way more interesting.
Or they could limit the amount of escape pods in the station,
Yeah,
That would
Yeah,
be
just-
cool too. Yeah.
like only 4 or something.
Oh, yeah, yeah. One team can get out, and that's it.
you better hope you know your map.
Yeah.
You gotta find
But-
your ship again.
I think we all agree though, right? Like there's definitely improvements that could make the flying in and flying out much more interesting and require much more thought.
Could you snip out the ideas portion of this and just send it to Team 17?
Well, maybe they'll watch our video, Maybe they're one of the 6 viewers right now. I don't know. What do our viewers think? Is there anyone there who wants to type into chat what you guys think the Ace update could be? And do you like any of the ideas that we've had? Do you hate them? I know Don hates them all because he's been pissed off even today that people have been shooting down pods so much more because now that you actually get the Marauder kills. But like, does anyone else have any input here? I'd love to hear other points of view on this because I don't know.
Granger, do you too, buddy?
I feel like there's so much that they could do because I feel like, okay, fighting is kind of a cool space battle thing, but it's more of an afterthought right now. It's more of a, am I in the mood? Is it something I feel like doing, not something I have to take into consideration on every single raid? And I feel like it should be. That would, that would match the feel and the vibe of the overall game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Me personally, I get like that heart pounding when I'm on a map sometimes, and I know there's other players around. I know that there's risk when I'm in the POI, but the minute I'm in an escape pod, or realistically even back in my rust bucket, I take a deep breath. I'm cool. I'm fine. There's maybe a minuscule chance that something could go wrong, but it's nothing like when you're in the POI. But if that changed, oh, that would be so cool.
Yep. Little fighters.
Little fighters.
I'm down. I'm down for little fighters. I mean, that'd be wicked cool if that's what that is AI fighters that are gonna come after you.
Or to shoot. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have to be good. They should be little.
Yeah.
There's a reason to have unlimited reloads on that turret. It's like, you need those fucking rounds.
Yeah. Or just bring in bigger ships. Like, they have to do something, but I mean, I think a combination of little fighters and like some more point defenses around the exits and the POI itself would make it way more interesting.
Yeah.
I think so. I'm interested in what you're talking about, because then we spend how much air we actually have. It's like 20 minutes or something like that. 25.
25
Yeah,
minutes.
30.
Which they're talking about reducing that too.
Okay, I mean that's not a bad idea.
But
But
right
like,
now you don't. How often do you run to the end of a timer? That would be cool, right? If like you needed
Twice.
speed.
My first 2 times didn't forget.
Yeah, but like if you needed more speed, you needed more advantage to get in. Like all of those things, a shorter timer, better point defenses, tiny AI fighters that Robert is talking about. That are gonna be aggressive with you. Things that are gonna try to shoot you down in an escape pod. All of those would make it feel more gritty, more real, more aggressive, and match the feel of when you're inside. Like your heart shouldn't slow down until you hit that yellow hole.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my humble opinion on this.
no, I like the ideas that you had in here. Like you make getting in there way more valuable. But so by the time you get in there, you might have fought off a bunch of shit, cost yourself 10 minutes. Now it's like loot, and get the heck out because you got in. Now you probably went through a hole. Now everyone else is getting in, and now let's say for example you can't go back to your own ship if this is a game style or something. You got in, but now you can't get out, or if you get out with the current ship you got, you're already like need two shots and you're done. Find the escape pods now. Get out.
Yeah.
Like there's so like you can imagine all these different scenarios that can now happen because you've added this chaos.
Yeah. And that's exactly it, right? Like it's adding chaos. And that makes it more fun. That's what making the bots harder on the map does, is it adds more chaos. There's not that guarantee of I'm going up against a stupid bot, it's an easy kill. Oh, it's a Marauder, I actually have to pay attention. But if you add that chaos to the outside too, I don't know. I love that idea. I love the idea of really making when you get out even more of a reward.
Yeah.
Could be a lot of fun. Cool.
Actually, I'm excited just hearing about this now. It's like,
they're
doing this, right?
I'm
Right,
hoping that they're. I mean, the fact it says Ace, in my opinion, means and they're showing ships, means this is about the ship combat. That's what they're going to be focusing on. If they'll maybe do all or none of what we're talking about, they have things in mind. And it's not like you're going to see freaking unicorns flying around out there trying to ram your ship with their horns. So something's got to be along the lines of what we're talking about, right? These guys have brains. They've made a great game so far. I'm sure that they've talked about what we've talked about. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe. Ring the bell to know when we post the next video. This channel is just getting started, so it helps a ton. Also, please leave a comment and let us know how we did and what you'd like to see for the next time. If you want to see us stream live, links are in the description below. Have a great day and stay safe out there.